Badass Attitudes, licensed here, flipping the format on the fear of failure. A badass is aware of their emotions, acknowledges their fears and owns them, and knows when they need a positive attitude adjustment. You know what doesn't get old? Being called a badass.
That's right. Being called badass does not get old. As I told all of these recently certified badasses on Friday. Yes, hello everybody. Kelly Orchard, the Badass Certifier. Happy to be here on this day before Thanksgiving. Practicing lots of thankfulness and gratitude, and I've got some stuff for you in a bit, but I wanted to talk a little bit about welcoming my new certified badasses who came to the 4-hour workshop. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, what is this all about? Well, thankfully, I was able to share this with several people. There was about 25 people in the class. Very eclectic group, I got to tell you. Whether it was team building experience for a couple of employees, or just some friends that shared some self-care time together. Others who needed a positive attitude adjustment. That is exactly what it was for. They asked for it, and I delivered it. It was tons of fun. There was some good music. We had some good food. Thanks once again to Jags Gives Back, Kyle and Cindy Warren, for basically they sponsored the Navigator team here at Michelle's Place to attend the class. And of course we had the Coldwell Banker Commercial Properties team out here doing some team building. I had Tracy Steffen and Terry Sue Parker doing some self-care friendship bonding. Simone and Paul and Dawn from my Murrieta Rotary Club, and several others that shall remain named for no other reason than, no, I'm just joking. Julie knows, she sent her assistant, and other coaching clients. And so it was, for me, it was a very eclectic group. Some people I knew, some people I did not know. Some people have experienced, they see me speaking, but they've never seen me lead a workshop. So, you know, this is the thing, when anybody asks me what my favorite part of my work is, it is definitely presenting a workshop like I did on Friday. And I was thankful to be able to do it live and in person, because it's been 2 years. The last time I presented the Badass Certification class to a live and in-person audience was 2 years ago at a record producer, a private recording studio in Murrieta, and it was a collaborative effort. And that too was tons of fun. And so this time, I had some different slides, and I had just a few different videos, and I updated a few things, and so I tweaked a thing here, and I twerked that. I didn't really twerk, but you know what I mean. So we had some fun, and it was good, and it's always an evolving workshop. And so when you need a positive attitude adjustment, I do have one online that I offer very soon to you. That one's only a minute and a half. It's an hour and a half long, but that's because I have breaks, and so I tell you just to stop the video and do the little assignment and the little worksheet that we're doing right now. The reason why it's so much fun in person and live is because we have the breaks, and you have the time spent with the other people that are there. I play music, and we have lunch together. So that's the difference in the two experiences, but it's the same content. So you're still getting the same lessons. And basically what I taught was, about neuroscience and how our thoughts affect how our brains function, and when we can change how we're thinking about things, which is all in cognitive behavioral therapy. It's in positive psychology. Tony Robbins uses it. John Maxwell uses it. The Bible uses it. Philosophy uses it. It's in just about every single sales training that I have ever learned or worked through, or any kind of leadership training. It is about how you think and then how you process those thoughts. And so what this workshop does is I take together several different types of therapeutic methods, including strategic coaching and cognitive, a little bit of heart math and positive psychology, and I blended them all together in a mixture. I composed my own type of workshop where I teach you how to attach warm and happy memories on the timeline of your life with a song from that time period that helps you build your confidence, feel smart and strong, happy, remember the good times and the successes that you've had, and attach those memories to songs and create your own badass soundtrack. And I got to tell you, it's like the texts and the emails that I have received from the participants. That's one of my favorite parts too. In the outcome, that's always the best for me, is getting the emails and texts from them. It's like what songs are going on their soundtrack and how they've attached it to a song. So the most memorable moment of the badass certification class for me, it was definitely the response at the very end. I get into the zone because it's like a performance. I mean, I'm very focused on the content and the material and what I'm presenting, and I'm observing, the participants and how they are responding to me. Getting into the A of awareness, the A in badass awareness, which is what we're focusing on this entire month of November. I become very aware of how they're responding to me. I mean, any performer would, the energy in the room, right? And so I play upon that. So at the very end is probably my most memorable time, because the response when they come up to me and say, "Oh my God, this was so much fun. I can't wait to get started on my badass soundtrack." And then I get testimonials for people, and they're excited and they're just ready to go out in the world and consider that music is a really good tool to improve their lives. That's pretty badass. And so I'm looking forward to doing it again. I don't know when that's going to happen. Well, I mean, it'll happen in 2022. I'm not going to do one in the month of December. It'd be way too hard to try to put that together. But I have a strategic plan. I am working on my plans for 2022. What are you doing? Have you started? We had gone, we went through those 8 questions on how to review your year in October, and you still have the full month of December now to, work on whatever it is that you are aware of that you kind of want to, take care of this year. And so some of mine is my business strategic plan. I do have some things in motion, that I'm working on, and I'm excited about them, but I still have to put them in paper, and I still have to kind of formulate the plan, which is what I'm doing for the month of December. And so that is the S in badass. The first S stands for steadfastly stay the course. That's right. So you got to persevere, but you've got to have some flexibility. You got to be nimble. So I will have harvested the rewards of what's been happening the last couple of months, what I've been working on. But I'm also going to be kind of in what I would call a winter season, where I'm going to prune back the things that weren't working this past year, because I have figured that out by evaluating and reviewing my year, what didn't work also. So I'm going to prune that back. I'm not going to look at it as a failure. It's like, okay, that didn't work. That's okay. I can prune that back, because that's going to give me an opportunity to grow something new. And I want you to take these things into consideration as we wind down November, which is awareness, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So, I was going to talk about the badass certification class in a Mustang Monday episode. And you've probably been wondering, why haven't there been new Mustang Monday episodes? Well, she has been extremely rebellious since I got this truck. I'm not kidding. I knew that she had the battery issue, that if I don't drive her, the battery is going to die. Okay. I had tire issues when I first got the truck. It's only been like a couple of months, 6 weeks, I think. And anyway, so last Monday, I drove the Mustang like I always do. It's Mustang Monday. We're back to just driving it Mondays instead of every single day, which is nice for me, and I would think for her. But so Monday, when I figure I have this, I joke about the Mustang is now a hybrid, because I have this little gadget, which is a bypass that my son-in-law had me purchase, that I plug it into the wall. It looks like a little battery charger. It's got the little clips on it that you plug onto the posts of the battery. And so whatever is draining the battery will be bypassed through this device that's plugged into the wall. Okay, so I had it plugged in the whole week, the whole 5-7 days that I didn't drive the Mustang, and I get into the Mustang on Monday morning with the full intention of driving it. I had put my purse in there and my laptop bag. I moved the truck out of the driveway, and I got into the Mustang to start it up, and she wouldn't start. So, anyway, I was going to talk about the badass certification class in a Mustang Monday episode, but that didn't happen. And then, of course, I was just not in the mood anymore because I was kind of mad at the Mustang. It's like a relationship issue is what I'm having with the car. So this weekend, I'm going to get her running again and drive her around a bit. And I just realized I just need to get out there and start it up every day. Just at least start her up. She's very, very high maintenance. So what do you have going on in your life that you might be ignoring, that you know that you're ignoring, but you really should deal with it? I'm just using the car as the metaphor there because she's going to be an issue for me, I think, the rest of my life because I'm committed to this relationship with this car. I'm not getting rid of it. It's very sentimental to me. It is probably the most, other than my children or my family, this is the longest relationship I've ever been able to maintain, and I'm struggling in it. I think she wants to divorce me. Okay, so that's my little Mustang story. So listen, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and so I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And I have an article to share for you from Psychology Today, and I am going to just share it. It is recent. I will provide the link in the show notes for you. Written by Glenn Shirati, PhD. Okay, it's Adverse Childhood Experiences and Emotional Intelligence. See, emotional intelligence is part of the whole awareness part of the Badass program. I'll get back to the article in a minute, but the reason why I have these different methods of awareness, positive psychology, nostalgia, and cognitive behavioral therapy is that they all kind of come back to one thing. And that's all going to be something that you can put in your toolbox. And so I'm providing with a lot of tools. Some organizations, they only promote emotional intelligence, or they only promote one brand of figuring it out, personalities, or, emotional intelligence, or, leadership style, things like that. I'm giving you a good mixture of a lot of it. And so this one is about emotional intelligence. So regulating intense emotions is the second step to healing. And a lot of times during the holidays, it brings up some emotional traumas that you've had. So I wanted to share this with you because I've been aware of it in my practice with my clients, and even at the workshop, things that I would overhear, are we always tend to go to the negative. It's very refreshing to be writing down the good things that have happened and occurred. It's basically flipping the format. So the key points of this are that strong, distressing emotions are a normal part of life. If unchecked, disturbing emotions can damage one's health, mood, and functioning. Many skills, including compassionate awareness, can help a person respond to unpleasant emotions in different beneficial ways. Life throws us curveballs. Each of us get them, hurts, disappointments, and losses. In response, we understandably feel intensely unpleasant emotions, such as grief, fear, anger, guilt, and sadness. For those who have unresolved memories of adverse childhood experiences, present challenges often stir up similar intense emotions from the past. Now, the survivor must not only deal with the present pain, but also with the emotional pain from the past. Critical components of emotional intelligence include acknowledging and having the skills to settle strong, distressing emotions, understanding their source, and having ways to manage them. Dysregulated stress, arousal that is stuck on too high or too low, is central to the event and the health outcomes. Importantly, intensely distressing emotions that we don't handle well trigger, maintain, and worsen dysregulated stress. So let's practice mindful awareness. Imagine that you are slowly tracking what's occurring throughout your body. At some point, your awareness rests on your knee, where you notice that there is pain. Rather than bracing against the pain, which worsens the pain, you embrace it gently and kindly, holding it much as you would hold a child who is in pain until the child is ready to return to playing. You breathe compassion into the area that hurts, and that compassion soothes and eases the pain. When thoughts arise, such as, I can't stand this pain, or I've got to kill this pain, you simply bring your kind, non-judgmental, accepting, and curious awareness back to the area where the pain is. And when you are ready, you take more intentional breath into the area that hurts. As you breathe out, Your awareness of that area dissolves as you shift your attention to a different area of your body. Paradoxically, when we accept the pain and hold it in kind awareness, the pain often lessens simply by changing our response to the pain. Self-compassion. So although sitting mindfully with distressing emotions has been shown to be very effective, self-compassion confers additional benefits. Developed and described by Dr. Kristen Neff, self-compassion begins with compassionate, mindful awareness of one's suffering and then encourages the suffering individual to repeat 4 statements to oneself, such as, "This is a moment of suffering." This gently acknowledges pain without judging or immediately trying to fix it, each of which creates tension. Suffering is a part of life. This reminds us that we are all in the same boat. Everyone suffers and wishes to be happy. We are not alone. May I bring compassion to this moment. Compassion elicits huge and beneficial changes in the brain and body. May I give myself kindness I need right now. Research has shown that kindness is more motivating and produces better functioning than harsh criticism. The combination of kind awareness and self-compassion has been shown to be powerful antidote to disturbing emotions. This approach is more effective than trying to avoid distressing emotions or trying to cover them up with work, drugs, or other addictions. This has been a very impactful article for me this week, especially as I'm working with clients dealing with getting together with family for the holidays, or even not really having any major plans and feeling a little maybe left out, or some sort of emotional trauma or trigger of loneliness or frustration or betrayal has occurred or impacted them. So I found this article and began sharing it with my clients. It's had a huge impact, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you. If you want to read more about it and everything else, I will put the link in the show notes for you. But I just also wanted to share with you that fear is a faith, that it's a confident expectation that something bad is going to happen. So let's flip the format on our fear with some gratitude and thanksgiving. So, what are you thankful for? True gratitude cannot be faked. When you choose to be mindfully grateful, even for the smallest things, it modifies your attitudes and behaviors. Imagine your response to a grateful customer, client, employer, friend, or loved one. When they show how grateful they are for you, doesn't it completely change your attitude for the entire day? It gives you a sense of well-being. Practice being grateful, as it is a positive emotion and filled with goodwill. And remember this, the more anger you carry in your heart towards the past, the less capable you are of loving in the present. Gratitude begets gratitude. It will build exponentially on your day. Try something simple today. Be grateful for the worker at the drive-through coffee place. Be grateful for the penny you find on the ground. Show gratitude for a coworker. See what happens. Gratitude grows. Gratitude builds others up. Gratitude just feels good. So if happiness is something that you can chase, or is it just foolish to try? I don't know. I found some interesting snippets on Psychology Today. This little nugget came from an article in 2013. Everything in moderation, cautions psychologist at University of California, Riverside. It's fine to want to be happier as long as it doesn't slide into an obsession. Don't keep thinking, is this working? Am I happy? Put your effort into being a kinder person, improving your relationships, and savoring daily pleasures. It's hard to think happy thoughts for every moment of the day, so just try being a kinder person. For example, today, I held the door open for somebody walking into the gym. Made me feel better, and it was an act of kindness that wasn't asked for. Made me happy. Will you try it? But don't mistake gratitude for an IOU. Don't feel obligated to repay a favor. It's not about keeping score. That'll just foster some negative feelings between you and the other person. Be kind because it makes you happy. Gandhi said, "What you think, you become." If you think negative thoughts, you will be a negative person. Negative things will happen to you. Other people will see you as being negative. If you think positive thoughts, positive things will come to you. Practicing gratitude and thankfulness will keep you positive. It also changes the chemistry in your brain, so consider your brain to be a muscle. It takes practice to be positive and thankful daily. So here's a list on how you can be thankful today and every day. Write down daily blessings. Stop and smell the roses, literally. Practice the mindfulness for small moments during the day. Have visual reminders such as sticky notes, meaningful pictures, create a collage, or your badass soundtrack. Do some volunteer work. So now that the holidays are officially here, awareness is the ongoing theme for November's Successful Badassery podcast. Remember that nostalgia is great for boosting the mood. Holidays can bring on some symptoms of depression. So allow yourself to be aware that you may feel melancholy and use music to boost your mood, to remember the times where joy was the byproduct of gratitude. So what song represents a happy holiday season for you? Now, for me, I've always loved the old classic Christmas songs, like Bing Crosby, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, or Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad. And I'll share a funny story about that holiday song in a December podcast. But for now, I just want to say to you, happy Thanksgiving from this badass to you.
Certifying badasses one podcast at a time. What's on your badass soundtrack? A successful attitude changes when it chooses love over fear. Snag your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensedtobebadass.com.